Nashville. This is News 2 at 11.
And now at 11, intense moments for firefighters as a downtown Nashville parking garage catches fire. You can see crews putting out those flames this morning as a plume of black smoke was seen coming from the building for miles. Welcome to News 2 at 11. I'm Peyton Kennedy. And now the aftermath of those flames as a portion of the building collapsed. This morning we do have team coverage of what happens now, as this is a popular spot for many who are accessing downtown Nashville. So let's go first to Jaxie Pigeon, who has more on the damage. Jaxie.
Well, Peyton, there were a few firefighters just on scene putting out a little hot spot and making sure everything was under control. Fire investigators are still on scene, however. We've seen several people walking by, really just coming out to see this site. I'm going to step out of the way so you can get a look at the building that has all that damage, that parking garage. This is at 6th and Commerce. And here's what we know so far. When fire crews first got here, they say they saw multiple cars ablaze on the 4th and 5th floors, those floors collapsing on one another. And because of the damage, authorities deemed this building unsafe. Luckily, no injuries were reported. I spoke to a young man from Baltimore who was staying in the Renaissance Hotel right across the street from the parking garage when those fire and explosions took place. These are videos he sent me from his perspective overnight. He tells me this was unlike anything he's ever experienced.
It was crazy. It was really late at night, yet Nashville was still popping with music and loud and stuff, so we didn't feel very alone, but we got to walk around, and it was pretty surreal seeing people still out and about and not really worried, yet me and my mom were pretty shook from the whole event still. The building used to be white last night, and now it's very burnt with smoke and stained, so it's crazy what happened overnight in just a few hours.
Garrett and his mom ended up moving to a hotel down the street, although the Renaissance did go back open about 4 in the morning, they said. Now, the fire is still under investigation. What caused that? Fire investigators are still on scene, like we said, but we'll keep you updated as we learn more throughout the morning. Live in downtown Nashville, Jaxie Pigeon, News 2.
Thank you, Jaxie. And hours later, that fire is still impacting folks who go to park in this garage, the library itself, and just a busy block of downtown Nashville. So we have Megan Fee live on the scene as well this morning with more on the aftermath after speaking with officials and witnesses. Megan.
Yeah, Peyton, good morning. So we're on the other side of the building from where Jaxie is, and you can still see the char on the building behind me of where that smoke came out earlier. And as a result, library officials tell us that the downtown branch of the library will be closed today. And we also know that the garage has been closed all morning to drivers trying to park inside. Now, as far as road closures go, we did see Commerce Street be blocked off between 6th and 7th a short time ago, but it just opened back up. And roads were open to commuters for most of the morning. We were out here around 5 o'clock when they opened things back up. But of course, that garage closure is still the biggest issue. Anyone trying to park, and also people who still have their vehicles inside. I spoke with lots of guests earlier staying at that Renaissance Hotel across the street, which was evacuated overnight. Some telling me they woke up to the sound of 30 explosions. Brandon Tidwell was one of them. He's visiting from Virginia. Tells me he woke up to the fire alarms around 1:30, came down with all the other hotel guests, waited around until about 3 o'clock until it was safe to go back inside and get some sleep. This morning, he was ready to hit the road, and his car was stuck in that garage after he paid to have it valeted.
I don't want to blame the hotel because it's not their fault, but they're telling us, of course you got to check out, but our car, which we pay for valet, is stuck on the bottom, and they won't let us get our car until the fire marshal comes. So you're kind of in a catch-22. What do? You stand on the street with your bags or pay for another night in a hotel?
Now, Tidwell did speak to the fire marshal and was able to retrieve his car from that first floor, but others I spoke with weren't so lucky. Many people still waiting to get their vehicles and see really the extent of the damage with all that smoke and the partial collapse of the garage. Now, this garage is owned by the Downtown Partnership. We reached out to them. They say teams are in there assessing the damage, and we're also waiting to learn more from the Nashville Department of Transportation. I'll be back in about a half hour with another update. For now, live in downtown Nashville, Megan Fee, News 2.